Hey everyone, Noble Artist here, and today in this video we are going to put this figure up right there, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good day. Nah, I'm just joking. So today in this video I'm going to be doing something brand spanking new. Now, I'm probably going to do a couple of different variants of this type of video, but I'm going to make a custom from start to finish, but this is going to be a time lapse because it's going to take a while. I probably will do a video somewhere along the way where it might be a live stream or I just kind of break it down as I'm making it. Typically, when I do a tutorial, I'll talk through the video and explain, the steps. I'm just trying to make the Mandalorian that I was going to do for the video, so I'm not really going to be doing anything, tutorial-wise. It's just going to be me making the figure, and I'm going to post my camera up and just start working. And this might take a while because it probably takes a couple hours just to make one, and my camera can only record about 40 minutes at a time, and I'm going to need to recharge the battery probably a couple times. I don't know, it's going to take a while. So, and then I got to go through it all to edit, and that's going to be fun. So anyway, this is going to be a long day, and I took a long time just trying to figure out what color scheme. I think I'm going to use those type of colors, so it would be kind of like a blue, white, and that kind of stuff. And there's some painting that has to be done first for like the undersuit, but regardless of all that, I'm going to be making a Mandalorian. It's going to be awesome, so buckle up, get some popcorn, and I'm going to put some music on and probably watch The Office, multitask while I'm doing this so I can stay somewhat entertained for the next couple of hours while I'm trying to figure out this figure. And a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is going to be new, and I'm definitely going to be coming up with stuff as I make it. So I will probably be, I'll pause the video from time to time and show you kind of updates and things like that. But for the most part, it's going to be a time-lapse video, so you guys can just kind of see, sort of in a quick way, what I do and the process of me making a figure. So with that being said, I'm going to get to it, and yeah, so have fun, and thanks for watching. So like I said, my camera ran out of power, or the memory card ran out, and I accidentally messed it up by taking some of the files off, and I'm not exactly sure all the ins and outs of memory cards, but it took me a little while to get that situated, and it turns out that you can go to your camera and reformat the memory card, and by doing so, I freed up so much space that somehow wasn't available before, and I think I was able to take a 50 some odd minute video in HD, and now that's reformatted, it's like 230 some minutes. So I gained a couple hours by reformatting my camera, so now we're good to go, and hopefully we won't have this issue ever again. So I'm going to press forward and keep moving. Alright, so it's probably pretty hard to see in this lighting, so I'm going to be finishing this figure up tomorrow, or at least the video showing it off, and then after painting this, I'm not too sure if I like the color of this paint. It is very glossy, and I don't really know if I want that much shine on this helmet, so I might go back over it with one of these paints just to give it a more dull look. So yeah, I did stick with this one because it's tester's paint and it is easier to paint with, so that kind of helped my decision. But I think I'm going to go back over it with one of these other colors. I haven't decided yet, but I have a lot of other different blues, kind of the same. This one right here might be what I'm going for, so I might redo it with this just to kind of give it a different look, but we'll see. I gotta wait for this to dry a little bit more, and in the meantime I'm going to probably work on the weapons a little bit and figure out what color I'm going to paint the comma, and I'm actually going to give this one a cape too, so yep, more to figure out, but we will keep plugging away. Alright everybody, just to give you another idea of how long it takes to make one of these figures, I'm actually on day 2. Yesterday I just had a lot of trouble trying to figure out the direction for this figure, so that typically doesn't happen. But yes, I'm on day 2 trying to figure this guy out and just trying to get color schemes matching. And I haven't used a lot of these paints in a long time, so I didn't like the way they looked, and I repainted this one. I mixed up a batch of paint, as you saw, and it's close enough to this, but the tester's paint is really glossy, and this stuff actually dried kind of the same. I was looking for a more darker finish, and although it looks great, I'm not a huge fan of how it kind of has somewhat of a shine to it. So I'm actually going to battle damage this figure once it's done, and the only thing I've left is painting the guns, and I'm working on this cape right here. Is going to have a cape, and then I think that's it. I also have to make some brown, because I didn't actually buy brown the other day when I should have. I ran out, so I think you mix blue, yellow, and red, but I don't actually have red. I read tester's paint. I don't really think that's going to mix well with apple barrel, so I'm going to mix yellow, blue, and I have maroon. So hopefully I can get some kind of brown out of that for these pouches. So we're going to see. I'm going to get started, and hopefully it turns out. of lame. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep working and hopefully figure out an alternative because I really want brown on this figure. So if not, then I gotta run to the store and take some more time. But we'll keep working. Alright everybody, we're kind of at a critical moment here, and I like the way the figure looks so far, but I'm not liking all this blue, and I'm not sure what accent color I'm going to use next. So there's a chance I might add the tan accent, which is also going to be the same color as the cape. I think that would look pretty good. But I know this color that I made is custom, and I don't know if I'll be able to recreate it exactly, so I'm going to take this arm and Manda metal the whole thing. So it's going to look kind of like the Winter Soldier, or just this side of the arm didn't get painted. I don't really know how it's going to look, but I have made the decision to go for it, and if worst case scenario I don't like it, I can put more paint on it. So we can always correct the mistake, but I think it's going to look good. time will tell. I'm gonna go ahead and get to that, so stay tuned. Alrighty everybody, I have finally finished this figure. There's one last detail I'm going to do, but I'll save and tell you that at the end of this. So now you probably noticed in this video that I sat around and just stared. Well, it's time lapse, so you can't tell, but I spent a lot of time just thinking about the colors and how I wanted this figure to go. I had a really difficult time, and as you can see kind of at the end, I sort of came to a decision of the color scheme, but it was definitely the hardest part of this figure. For some reason, I had an idea of colors I wanted to use. I wanted to use the blues, and it was just not happening. I had the hardest time that, and when I was painting, I realized that some of this paint doesn't paint as well as I wanted to. It's probably older paint, and I was just having some issues with it looking smooth. So there are some features to this figure that would look good with a battle damage figure. So that's what I'm going to do. I know I said I'm going to save it for the end of the video, but basically I'm going to make a battle damage figure out of this one. So I'll do a separate video of how to, basically it's going to be a how-to video on battle damage, and I think I did one in the past, but I don't know if it's still up or not. But it's going to be a video showing you guys the steps and process. It's actually really simple, and there's only 2 colors that you would use to do that, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm also running out of light, and the lighting in this room is terrible. I actually have like 3 lamps right now trying to light up this little area that I'm at. So anywho, I'm gonna get right into it. I know you've probably been waiting to see this for a while, so it's been 2 days for me, so I'm kind of excited to get this review on the way. So yes, all right, I used, the main color is this made up blue that I have here, and I did sculpt the chest plate and then the piece on the back. I did sculpt both of those, and for the most part it turned out pretty good. I like the way it looked, and I'm definitely excited about making more of these Mandalorians. I'm probably gonna make 100 Mandalorians. I'm gonna do a lot of them because they're a lot of fun to make, and I'm probably gonna, once I find a really good color scheme, I'm probably going to do a clan, because I know a lot of Mandalorians are kind of in clans and families, and I want to start doing more of that. I want to make a group of them that kind of go in the same group. I know I said group like a million times, forgive me. So moving on, we have the boots down here, and then the knee pads, of course, and I guess it's a shin pad. I didn't really put the knee pads on just because it didn't really fit underneath there, and I thought it would be good without them. And of course the centerpiece. Now for the belts, there's a glare on my side, so I'm not sure if you can see it as well. There is 2 pieces to that. I have the plastic piece underneath, and then I put a piece of fabric on the top because it gives it a little more texture. You can tell up close that it's fabric, and it looks really nice because I wanted that leather type of look, so that kind of pulls that off really well. And then of course we have the pistol holsters coming around front, and then painted those brown because I really wanted the brown because I know a lot of their stuff is that old leather and looks really good, so I was trying to incorporate brown. I did actually go out to Walmart and pick up some brown, so that's good. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Before I was trying to mix the colors and it did not work very well. If you are doing that, side note, get a light colored brown if you go to Walmart, and then you can always mix black paint to it to make it darker, but if you start out with the darker paint, it's kind of harder to lighten it up a bit. I guess you could use white, but I like to go the other way. So anyway, moving on, we have the arm here. Now beforehand, I'm sorry if you saw it before and you liked it, but this was all blue, and I figured it was too much blue. I don't know, it didn't seem right. So I went ahead and painted the Manda metal on this arm, and I think it turned out really well. And of course we have the piece here, and then this little shoulder pad up top. That I left the blue color because I wanted to still leave that accent on this side of the figure. I'll take the cape off, and you can see underneath that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and move to the back. There's not much happening here. I got to figure out what I want to do to the back armor, because if it's just a slab of metal, there's not a lot of detail in it. And then going off of the ones that they make, there's not a lot of detail in that either, so that's kind of what I was trying to mold it after, and it's blue. So I did add the stripes down the side that carried over from the front, so right there, you might be able to see it better when I take that off. So that's pretty much all there is, and then I added 2 more of the leather pouches, and then I added this little cylinder back here, just, you know, why not? It had the room for it, and it looked really good right there, so, you know, use your imagination. It can just be more supplies. You know, Mandalorians probably carry a lot of stuff. They rival Batman with their gear, okay? They have a lot going on, so it can be anything. I am really excited about this. I'm pretty proud of my painting. I did the Mandalorian logo, and I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to like steal the show, so it's very light. I mixed this tan color with white and got kind of an ivory-ish color, and looked at an image, and I think that turned out really good, so I'm excited for that. And then the bottom of the cape, that is actually metal, and I painted the Manda metal pattern onto that, so the cape, you can bend it because it is metal. I can kind of bend it in a form that I want, kind of to get it to fit around the figure. And I'm not going to mess with it too much, but it is there to be used, so you can kind of play around with it and get cool positions for your cape. So pretty sweet. Alrighty, so moving on to the helmet. I wish my camera could move up. I'm just going to hold it for a second. So sorry if it's wibbly. I don't know if wibbly is a word. Wobbly. If it moves too much, I apologize. So of course we started all this adventure with the helmet and it's hard to tell here, but we have a metallic visor. It almost looks just straight yellow, but even in person it's hard to see the shine off of it. But yeah, it's there and it shines. So we have the Manda metal going around that, and then it's really subtle, but we do have the two-tone blue on the cheek piece. And then I originally started with some of the tan. I left that there, and then again it's really hard to see because it's subtle, but there are two tones of blue right there on the helmet. And then of course we have the rangefinder, which this gave me some trouble. I had to remake this a few times, but it's magnetic, so it can move down in front of the visor, and then if you want, you can pop it off because it's magnetic, but not that you would want to, but it's there. And yeah, so on the top I have, of course, that other blue that I accented with, stripe down the middle, and then two more of the tan stripes going on either side to connect with the piece in the back. Now, that is testers, and this is not, so I probably should have used testers with the rest of it, but I did not, so it's too late to go back. Alrighty, so now I will take the helmet off, and I will take this cape off and show you the rest of the arm. Alrighty, so take the cape off. I did modify one of the Star Wars capes that came on the Mandalorians. So this is him without his cape. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And I do have that stripe running down the side on that side, and then a little bit on the shoulder pad right there. So trying to keep the color scheme kind of accurate going throughout the figure. So here's a little 360 without the cape on. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now here's the cape. Boom. I added some extra fabric on the top just to give it some more texture and make it look cooler. I left the inside of it brown because I liked it how, if you saw it from a side angle, it'd still be kind of dark in there, and I didn't want it to be super bright. So I do like leaving that a little bit darker. So that is the cape. You can put it on either side. If you want to cover up the metal arm, then you can put it on the other side. I'll actually do that. I'll put it back on the other side. And then of course he has the neck guard. Let me not forget to mention that. Boom. Alrighty, so it does go to the other side. You can also kind of adjust it. So if you want to put it on like before the head's on, you can move it farther or closer behind the figure, so his arm can be more revealed, or it can be more in front of him. There's some, you know, playability with that. But yeah, that's the other side. If you like the look of the arm with the blue armor sticking out better. And then of course he has two of the Jango Fett style blasters, one on each side. Every Mandalorian's gotta have his blasters, so he's got two of them. And speaking of blasters, I have a really cool rifle floating around here somewhere, if I can figure out where I put it. This is the rifle that I made for the figure. Now, I had to redo a few things, and it took a while to get all these little metal pieces on the front to kind of give it whatever that look is. I've seen some rifles that have that, but I wanted to incorporate it. And it's a really awesome gun. It's kind of big in the hand. Not big in the hand, but let me go ahead and just show you what I mean. It's not big in the hand. It's just, with the cape, it couldn't fit on that side, so he has to hold it. But I did trim the stock. I had to redo that if you saw, because that last one was hitting into the arm and I couldn't put it into his hand all the way. But I like the way this one turned out better, so it fits up to the figure. And actually I think it's pretty proportionate. I really like the way it turned out. I just didn't have it in, I had it in the other hand, and for some reason, because I'm right-handed, I think things look weird when they're in the left hand, so I think part of it was me just looking at it the wrong way. So, really cool blaster rifle. I was going to put a strap on it, but it doesn't really work out with the pistols because the gun has to kind of fit behind the arm. So, if I do a strapped weapon, he kind of needs one pistol or no pistols at all. So, anywho, that's what we got so far, and I will probably do a video soon about the battle damage. I actually start a different part of my training tomorrow, so my days are going to be longer, and the lighting in here is terrible, so hopefully I'll have enough time in the day to do that. Also, the sun's starting to go down a lot sooner, so until I can figure out a better lighting situation, it's going to be kind of tricky, and I know this isn't ideal. So, because right now I'm pretty much working off this little lamp, and then I dragged this lamp that was next to my bed over here. So that's what I'm working with, people, and I hope you can still see this figure. But anyway, that is that. I hope you enjoyed it. This was the first time-lapse video of a full build that I made. Now, it did take 2 days to do this. Yesterday I spent a lot more time. Yesterday was probably the majority of my day was trying to think about making this figure. And today I spent a good 4 or 5 hours on it. And I had to eat and run to the store and do life things. But it does take quite a lot of time to make one of these figures. So maybe seeing a time-lapsed video of how long it takes to make it, you guys can appreciate just how much goes into one of these. So if you liked it, don't forget to hitchhike it and fist pound that subscribe button. Bam! And if you stayed to the end of this video, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And don't forget the contest ends at the end of this month. So if you haven't entered the Mandalorian contest, I will leave a link at the end of this video. You can go check it out. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know what you want the next contest to be, or have any thoughts or suggestions for tutorials, and all that good fun stuff, let me know, and I will do my best to get out these videos. So, anywho, God bless, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.